I would call Henry, during his early years, the father of Denver theater, and during his later years, the grandfather of Denver theater.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing.
He taught me that theater is family.
I often think about Henry's extra duties that some producers don't face, such as bailing certain actors out of jail so they can get to the theater before curtain time, or relocating the prostitutes on Colfax and Elizabeth before the patrons arrived.
To anyone who ever saw the old man with the big belly, wide smile, and billows of white hair covering his face, Henry Lowenstein was Santa Claus, a giver who provided opportunities for hundreds of local artists of all backgrounds. "But I'm not Santa," he would say. "I'm his Jewish cousin." Lowenstein worked at the beloved Bonfils Theatre on East Colfax Avenue in Denver from 1956 to 86. He presented more than 400 plays at the theater, in city parks, in schools, and on tours to as far away as Eastern Europe. In retirement, he opened the Denver Civic Theater, now the Sioux Teatro Performing Arts Center.
Oh, I think the Bonfils was the greatest community theater in the world.
Und der Haifisch, der hat Zähne.
Henry Lowenstein was born in Berlin into a family that hosted nightly parties for artists of all kinds. The composer Kurt Weill largely worked out his masterpiece, The Three-Penny Opera, on the Lowenstein family piano. Lowenstein escaped the Nazis at age 13 and finally arrived in America in 1947. He was a 22-year-old with no money or prospects. He worked as a gravedigger and a foundry laborer and served 3 years in the U.S. Air Force. His life changed when he was accepted into Yale's graduate school to study theatrical design, even though he had no undergraduate degree or U.S. citizenship. That led to a surprise phone call from Denver Post publisher Helen Bonfils in 1956 to design sets at her theater in Denver.
Openings at the Bonfils Theater had spotlights, they had media coverage, they were on the society pages. It was the top theater venue in this town.
Lowenstein's childhood in Germany would inform the artist he would become in Denver. Anyone he ever considered oppressed was welcome at the Bonfils. When Lowenstein hired Jonathan Parker as a janitor soon after his arrival in 1956, the reaction from Bonfils patrons was immediate and furious.
So they didn't even want to hire a black man to be a janitor.
Eventually, he starred as Walter Lee in A Raisin in the Sun.
For no black actor to ever be allowed to be on stage in any kind of significant role, he was in the main character. And then audiences began to change.
He did open those doors, so the front door, the back door, and the side doors were open. Henry said we were not going to be in a box. Matter of fact, we're not even going to have a box.
When Henry Lowenstein died on October 7th, his death was read into the congressional record by Representative Diana DeGette. Henry Lowenstein is widely considered to be one of the most important people in the shaping of the city of Denver. In 2006, the Colorado Theater Guild launched its annual awards program celebrating achievements in local theater. They are named, of course, the Henry Awards. Tonight is the first Henry Awards with no Henry, but it is also apparent that everywhere in this room, there is Henry Lowenstein.
Well, Henry was such a humanitarian. I mean, he saw the world in a very different way